Hi, my name is Elizabeth Derwin, and I'm a member of the Council on Aging Board. Our next town meeting is scheduled for Thursday, November 10th at 7:30 in the high school auditorium. At that meeting, there's going to be a vote to decide whether the town wants to build a new senior community center at Cassidy Farm. Cassidy Farm is town-owned land on the intersection of Island Road and Exchange Street. It's right across the street from Oak Grove Farm. The purpose of this video is to help inform you in how you may want to vote. We're going to share some information on our senior population, and we're also going to take a tour of the current center. We've deliberately chosen to film the inside of the center when we're not open to avoid any background noise or distractions, but we have some pictures of what happens in each of those rooms so you can see the center in action. I'm standing to the entrance of our center, which is in the basement of the Veterans Memorial Building. People can access the center by either using a set of stairs on this side, the ramp that goes down here, or they can walk around the front of the building and take an elevator down into the basement. I also wanted to share with you the outdoor space that's available around the corner from the door here. As you can see, it's a rather small space with no permanent structures or furniture. Our weather pattern is changing, and we can now enjoy more time outside during the year. And if there's anything COVID's taught us, it's that time outside is very encouraged for good well-being. I also wanted to share with you our parking lot. As you can see, the space is fairly small for the number of parking spots we have. And for those of you who have come to Town Hall during a busy time, you know how difficult it is to find parking here. This center, housed in the basement of the Veterans Memorial Building, opened in 1999. At that time, the senior population of Millis, which we defined as 60 years of age or older, was 1,070 people. In our 2021 census, we saw that number grew to 2,620 people. That's a 145% increase. We also get population forecasting data for the Massachusetts Office of Elder Affairs. That office predicts that by the end of this decade, our senior population could grow to 50% of our total town's population. Which was sufficient for our senior center in 1999 is simply no longer adequate for our growing senior population to provide the necessary services, socialization activities, and well-being activities that are the core of our senior center. I'm now going to turn the tour over to Chris McCaffrey, and she's going to start our tour here through the Senior Center, and I'll see you again at the end.
Hi, I'm Chris McCaffrey. Welcome to our Senior Center. We, as members of the Council on Aging Board, thought it would be interesting to introduce our Senior Center to the residents of the town of Millis. This is a poster with our proposed Senior Center on Cassidy Farm. In it, we have lots of parking and plenty of room in the building for the programming that we can no longer have here in this Senior Center. We've just gone through the doorway into the main reception area and hallway of the Senior Center. Over here, we have the drop-in room, and here we have the main programming room. As you can see, being in the basement of the Veterans Memorial Building doesn't provide a lot of outside light. But in the new proposed Senior Center, the reception area will be bright and airy. It will be a welcoming place for people to gather for programming or meetings, or simply sit with their friends, have a cup of coffee, read a book, or read a magazine.
Hi, my name is Bill Brown. I'm on the COA board. I run bingo, help distribute newsletter, and organize bread and pastry distribution. This is the main functioning program room. It's the only place to hold programs on meals for greater than 24 people. For special celebrations like St. Patrick's Day and Thanksgiving, we could only seat 70 people. We also have programs for line dancing, art classes, travel shows, antique roadshow, and movies, to name a few. Nothing can be held simultaneously as the room requires setup and takedown between each program. There is no room to store the chairs and tables, so they have to remain in the room even if not needed. We know from other towns that increasing programming requires increasing volunteers to run these programs. Our current setup is uninviting to volunteers, and a new center would engage people to come forward and start a new club or program.
We've just gone up the hallway and we've passed the kitchen. We're now in the area of the dining room and Candy's Corner. Also in that small area are 2 offices for the outreach coordinator and the director. On this side of the hallway, we have another office area for the department assistant and the HESCO coordinator. In 1913, this building was built. It housed the school population at the time. During the 1920s and the 1930s, 3 renovations took place. Basement here housed the small library, the kitchen, a cafeteria, 2 small art rooms, and the locker rooms. In 1999, when the building was renovated, that senior center moved from St. Paul's Church to here to its current location in the basement of the Veterans Memorial Building. As we go further up the hallway, we're going to pass the elevator, which is the handicapped access to the senior center. We'll continue up the ramp, but be careful where you step because the floor is a little uneven to the fitness center. I've now given you the lay of the land, and we'll pass on to other board members, the outreach coordinator, and the director who will continue with the tour.
Hi, I'm Bert Lannon. I'm a member of the board of the Council on Aging. I drive a van for the Senior Center, and I've been a resident of Millis for 65 years. We're here today in a drop-in room, and as the name implies, it's a place where folks can come, stop by, have a cup of coffee, a snack, chat with their friends, and there's a lot of other things going on in this room also. We have bingo, we have games, we have jigsaw puzzling, we have our group of ladies known as the Crafty Ladies who create wonderful knickknacks with their talents and artistry. We have our library. Folks can come by and grab a book, or they can sit down and read a book while they're having a cup of coffee. And we have our drop-off pastry and bread where folks can stop by and pick up items as they need. The problem is that with the lack of space, there's only one thing that can be going on here at a time in general. For example, if the bingo is set up here, the room is full. If the ladies are in here with their crafts, the room is full. We just don't have the room for multiple activities to be going on at the same time. The new proposed senior center will allow us to do that with a dining hall, a craft room, a game room, and 3 multi-purpose rooms. So at any one time we could have drop-in coffee, games, bingo, pool, darts, yoga, other exercise programs, all taking place in rooms that are bright, spacious, and welcoming. Now, I'd just like to put a little perspective on the age of the building, which has been referred to already. I went to 5th through 7th grade in this building between 1958 and 1960, and the building was 45 years old at that time. And now here we are, the building's almost 110 years old, and we're in the basement. So we would really like Millis to step up, support their seniors, and approve the beautiful new facility proposed for the Cassidy property. Thank you very much, and now I will turn you over to our director, Patty Kao.
Hi, I'm Patty Kao. This is the Council on Aging kitchen. This kitchen is very small. It's not a functioning kitchen. We share this kitchen with HESCO Elder Services, who's here from Monday through Friday from 9 to 1. When the Council on Aging wants to do a special luncheon or a special holiday event, we have to ask HESCO Elder Services to either move to another room or go to the Medfield Council on Aging. I'll show you now the dining room. This is the Council on Aging dining area. It seats 24 people. If we want to do a larger event, we have to use our programming area. This conflicts with ongoing programming. In a larger senior center, we won't have those conflicts.
Hi, I'm Debbie Sand, the Outreach Coordinator at the Millis Council on Aging. We're here today in Candy's Corner, where donated items are sold at discounted prices. This is also the waiting area for the director's office and my office. And as you can see, it's a very open space, which is nice, but it's not good for people who are waiting to see me and the director, because we're talking to people about private and confidential matters. So the new senior center will have a private waiting area, which will make people feel more comfortable. Now here is the director's office, and this is my office. As you can see, both the director's office and my office are both very small, and they feel very cramped, especially when you have 1 or 2 people sitting in the chairs, and they're not wheelchair accessible, and it's very hard to get in here with walkers. So that's one of the problems with these offices, is they're very small. Also, we have no space to put documents in applications. So like, this is a fuel assistance application that I fill out with people. I'm in charge of fuel assistance for the entire town. People come in here and we don't have the space at my desk to fill out the application or even go over the documents that are required, which include income documents, electric and heating bills, their identification, etc. There's no space to go over it here. In addition to go and photocopy and scan these documents that they're giving me, we have to go all the way across the office to use the machine, which is very hard for people who have walking issues or problems standing up. Plus, you then have to go back into public area and everybody's seeing you while you're dealing with very private issues. So a new senior center would have larger office spaces for us, hopefully, and it would be hopefully a better layout so that everything would be next to each other. In addition, I share this office with the Shine counselor who talks about financial issues. So when we both have people to talk to, one of us has to sit out in the dining area and talk about these very private issues that everybody's listening to. So a new senior center would have a small conference room for one of us to be working in. When we have people, it would have larger offices, and it would have a private waiting area, which would be helpful to all. Now on to Meredith, who will be talking about the fitness room.
Hi, my name is Meredith Saint-Severin. I'm on the board of the Council on Aging here in Millis. I'd like to show you around our fitness room. You might not know that I was a previous owner of a Curse for Women for several years, so this room interests me. We have a half a circuit here because we can't have a whole circuit because of the size of the room. It's not set up ideally. People are very close together, which we don't want in this time of COVID. We have a mat area for stretching, which only accommodates one person at a time. We have a closet for sneakers. It shouldn't be a closet. It needs to be out in the open. On the other side of this room is our ellipticals, our treadmills, which are very close together. When you have a few people in here, it gets very close, very tight. The air quality is not good, so we have air purifiers, we have fans, and we have wires. We don't want wires around. It's a tripping hazard, a fall hazard, but not much we can do about that. The floors are uneven, so the machines sometimes get a little wobbly, and the boards, that's a safety issue. This is the only room that was available for use. We have no more room. It would be nice if we had a bigger room, higher ceilings, so we don't feel like we're jumping and hitting the ceiling. We also have a gymnasium upstairs in the VMB on the first floor. We use that for our exercise classes that are very popular, but the gymnasium is also getting too small for that. Our other problem is that our schedules keep getting rearranged or canceled because the rec department, the school department use the gymnasium, and elections use it up for a week. So we can't be consistent in our scheduling. Thank you for listening. Please vote at the town meeting on November 10th and vote yes for a new senior center. Thank you.
Thanks for taking the tour. I hope it gave you adequate exposure to the center to help inform your vote. Cassidy Farm is the ideal location for a new senior center. It gives a unique combination of indoor and outdoor space, and it will allow the infrastructure that the senior center needs to fulfill its mission. Also, the community will have full access to those facilities in the evenings and on the weekends. If you have any more questions, we've put together a frequently asked question document. This document is available here in the Senior Center, on the first floor of the VMB, and also in the library. There's also an online version available on the website. If you go to the town website, millisma.gov, go to the Council on Aging page, you'll see a menu item for a frequently asked question. So again, thanks for watching. Remember, the town meeting is Thursday, November 10th at 7:30 in the high school. We're asking for your vote for a new senior center and to help us get out of the basement. Thank you.